Greetings, fellow city builders. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Mistpaw Ravine. Episode 4, Bringing Beauty to the City. Yeah, the other thing we can do is we can land reclaim. Yeah, hell, let's do it. Let's go crazy. All of this could be terrain for the forester if we like filled it in. So let's just fill it in. Who needs ravines anyway, right? And I'll turn on the mana accumulator again, so we just get a little bit more steady supply of mana, just for the upgrades. So we need a power grid for that, and I'll just drop a pile on there, no problem. We're getting relic after relic after relic. I like it. So now this one water purifier is purifying the entire, like, arable land. It has no problem keeping up with demand now, which I'd prefer. That way there isn't, like, any weirdness about coverage. There's no variability, it's predictable, which I think is more important. And once we hit 1,000, we can work on the ravine building for the quality of life upgrade. Let's finally get a poop master. I think it's time. Because we have some uncollected poop, which is making us stinky. The other thing we can do is the forester, and one of the reasons I planted up here is we can grow gloom trees intentionally in order to use gloom as a, you know, as a resource more predictably. So I'm planning on employing our forester to plant the gloom up there as well. I don't know how much of it's going to be watered, though. So I was just planning on, like, growing a whole lot of it and then seeing, like, what is watered and what isn't. Because I'm sure it will be a bit random. Where not all of it's going to be arable. And here's our poop master. And the poop master is responsible for, like, cleaning up the poo that and cleaning out the litter boxes. Basically, the Jan Itor of the colony. We're about halfway to a little over halfway to the mana required for the next upgrade, too. And it looks like everything's roughly smooth sailing. Oh, there's a big windfall of mana, too. I love those. One thing I haven't really addressed is, like, the litter box coverage. I've just kind of been throwing them down. They're so cheap to put down. It's, like, not too much of a problem. Just, like, toss them on the ground and be like, ah, whatever. Wherever they go, they go. That's more or less been my approach so far. I need more power? That I do. What just used up that power? I know I can pause my, sawmill. Yeah, let's just generate more power. That would make sense. So I have 100 wood. I'm going to generate a little bit more power with the wood fire generators. Oh, it's because I turned on the mana accumulator. That's why. Thank you for noticing. Was not staring at that. It's my bad. Okay, now we have excess power. Good. That's all needed. So we're losing. I'm gonna move the discharger close to our houses because the mist is really pushing in there. This woodcutter doesn't have anything to cut. And this woodcutter doesn't have anything to cut. So we managed to clear all the trees in the south. And I'm relocating them up here to manage these trees. And it looks like all of the ravine... Nope, I missed a spot. But almost all the ravine has been filled in for maximum arable. And just for the giggles, I'll fill in around the enchanted ink extractor because we have a pylon there providing power, so we might want to build infrastructure around there to take advantage of the power. I don't know if that's the plan, but might as well fill it in if it is indeed. There is ink water over here, like naturally occurring ink water, which is a probably irrigating these gloom trees. That's essentially what is creating all this gloom. Alright, and we got a bunch of ink water. Pools of ink. So the way it works, if you're wondering, because I didn't really explain this mechanic just yet, is you can pour water, either water or purified water, which is a mix of mist and ink, or pour ink. And ink will automatically create gloom around it. In the same way that like regular water irrigates the soil, ink irrigates the soil with gloom. So this is like gloom water, whereas this is regular water. So I'm just taking advantage of the fact that the forester covers some of the gloom water area to plant my own gloom trees as like a source of material. Because gloom trees is what we use for like explosions and some other things. Alright, we have enough for the ravine building. So, the ravine building. One of the things I'm going to want to do is to build the large liquid storages, but maybe not immediately. The ravine building gives us the ability to make a water feature. The water feature is a 3x3 that needs to be submerged in water to provide a benefit to the houses. So what I was planning on doing is, for now I'm going to move the houses, like, away, so that they're not blocking where I want the water feature built, and then I'll move them back eventually. So immediately what I'm going to do is just move all the houses up here while the game's paused, so there's no like mass loss of happiness. And then to incorporate a water feature so that the purifier pump that we have running the water feature also provides irrigation for the farms. So it's like a 2-for-1. So that was the plan. So taking a look at our farm right now, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here is halfway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create bombs here that lead to a water feature of a 3x3 and then a spout here to add water to the system. So all this needs to be blasted out. And this is one of the reasons why I was collecting all that gloom fuel, because I knew that this was coming. And we're officially almost a colony of entirely of adults. One of the other benefits of this project is it might also irrigate it will actually irrigate a lot more soil to the west of the farms to allow for more farmland as well. So here we go. Detonate. Boom. So this pump alone probably won't be able to generate enough water to reliably irrigate this 3x3. I mean, that's just too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another water purifier here. With the new water purifier there, I'm also going to want a pylon. Oh no, we have a pylon. So I'll just move the pylon. And that's where our water feature is going to go. Oh my god. This is becoming an island. There we go. Don't get trapped. And a mana squall starting. So mana squalls increase the speed at which dark mist spreads and doubles mana received from all sources. So it's a really good way to amass our mana, but the terrain will be... There will be a big push taking over the terrain that we've claimed. So having extra mana extractors ready, or dischargers rather, ready before that squall sets in might be ideal. So we can keep the squall at bay, and then we can turn those things off once the squall's done. So I'm setting up even more dischargers. It might even get to the point where we need to ramp down the mining during the mana squall, because we might lose that entire region to the squall. I think that's more than likely. Alright, this purifier spout is running. And it should be adding water to the pond. Yep, there it goes. And that allows us to make a water feature. And then it will also increase the arable land as well. So, you know, I'll do more rad rats. Okay, let's fill this up. So we can farm on it. But now with this water feature, it's yet to be built, but eventually be built, we will be able to... Where should this go? Oh, it's being powered there. That's fine. We'll be able to have even happier cats to unlock tier 4. So now we're moving them in around the water feature. If you really want, like, bing for your buck, you wouldn't have them move in on arable land, but I think the cats deserve some grass, so I'll give it to them. Now, the other thing we're going to do is to adjust our power grid. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the mana accumulator for now, just because I'm not generating enough power to keep it on. And focus on preparing for the mana squall. That mana squall is going to put the hurt on. So I might, I'm actually just going to plan for losing the mines. So I'm going to pause all of the mines we got going on right now and just, like, intend for the mana squall to overtake the southwest corner, because I don't think we can hold it. And instead, position dischargers all around the perimeter to try to keep us from losing things that will, you know, because it's really hard to claim this area. And there we go. What are you? A mist collector? Yeah, okay, move here. You are a mist discharger, move there. Alright, here is the squall. And you'll see how it, like, really, it moves in quick. Tangled vines. Alright, so here is a choice. With your waking eyes, you see it. A tangled mass of vines coiled around a smoothly brilliant crystal that shines as if it never existed. You feel a breath exhale from the mass into the ground, away into nothing. All at once, the breath returns. Within your own throat, the vines tangle, coil, and breathe. So, this unlocks what is called a crop accelerator. Increases the growth speed of crops within its range by 30%. And this is what you guys had voted on. I'm going to move this crop accelerator to right here, let's say. And if you zoom in, you can see the crops are now entangled, and they have a 30% faster growth rate. It might be worth dedicating it for like gloom trees or trees, because gloom trees and trees grow slower than most other things. But you can see it, you can use it how you see fit. Pretty handy thing, for sure. All right, we're losing a little bit of ground around the northern gloom trees. And I'm out of crushed crystals because we lost the crystal mine for the most part. In fact, not entirely. I can put one cat back mining this big crystal, but the rest of the crystals here are just done for until the storm's over. Good news! We got the water feature. So there it is. And as a result, Tier 4 is unlockable. The next research in Tier 4 costs more than we currently have, but it gives us aquatic farming. So it allows us to build aquatic radrads. Grows faster than regular radrads, only grows underwater. Fruit hatchery produces fruits, and it also only grows underwater. And double home, which is not about aquatic farming, but it allows us to have higher density homes. And the squall's over. So now that the squall's over, let's push back the fog around the crystals so that we can start crystal mining again. Another thing that I haven't yet to build was the high capacity liquid store, which I might want to get soon. But that would cost crystals that I don't like have at the moment. So I'm building a lot of like fog removal here. Oh, I think we have enough. Nope, it rounded. We have 1463. We basically held on to all of our terrain during that storm, which minus the crystal mines, which is pretty good. And we'll reopen these. Okay, now that we have aquatic farming, we can start to put aquatic radrads here and aquatic fruit. Actually, where was it? The fruit hatchery? And we don't really have the room for fruit hatcheries, so I'll just do aquatic radrads all around the farm instead. As far as our resources go, wood is kind of in a bad way. We do have a lot of woodcutters. Ultimately, I think what that means is like burning wood as a source of power is not, we want to graduate away from it. The next tier we have is a crystal quarry to be able to deep mine crystals, a vent pump extracting mist from mist vents, be able to make our own crop accelerators, and an archaeology site which allows us to harvest relics periodically. And then advanced power gives us a way to make power even more efficiently, which I'm really holding out for, if you were wondering why I haven't like upgraded our power generation yet. We are sporting, some are gloom touched and gloom sick, but we're sporting a happiness of 17, not bad. Ooh. More relics. And here is the crystal pit. Way in the southwest, so trying to keep the fog from like absorbing that spot is rather rough. But if you have a big population of a lot of crystal mist dischargers, you probably can manage pushing back the mist there. I haven't really been ramping up our population though, so it's not like I'm in a position to do that. Now, speaking of which, we did get double houses. So it's a 2x2 for 14, where normally you could only fit 12. And it also can be covered by the same like lamp or whatever. I don't intend to build those at the moment though, because we need crystals for other reasons. A darling new invention. Eureka! A cat explains. I've done it. A crowd gathers around the cat's strange box. An opening on one side reveals a tray inside. It holds sand. Shouts of protest and distrust are heard from the crowd. Why would you ask us to poop in this covered box, hidden from the sky, ignorant of our surroundings? Because, the cat replies, it smells better. I guess that's a good reason. So this is a covered litter box. It holds poop, slowly cleans itself over time, larger effective range, and storage than a standard boring litter box. This is a super poop box, and I'll put it right next to the poop master. I haven't really been like updating our like litter box coverage much, so I'll think about that too. There it is. It's a high mass poop box. Good stuff. Nothing like finding that out in the fog. And here's a mist vent. So the mist vent is harvestable now with the right technology. It's something we unlocked, but of course it's constantly spewing out the high density mist that gets covered up quickly. So we could the vent pump unlocks at 1500 and that can extract mist from these things. Well, but for now it's just going to cause us problems and constantly fill the map back up with mist. But mist is useful, so yeah, whatever. I think, not that we have like need for this, because we absolutely don't. But I will expand the irrigation a little bit farther to the south to see if I can't like create a full cube down this way. Yep, there we go. Doesn't matter. We're not... We have too many farming plots than we even have farmers able to do the farming. The bottleneck is how many farmers we have, certainly. But it is nice to be sitting on 370 fruit, knowing that, like, we'll not have food shortages for years to come, or whatever. No, they're still building it. Good. Get that reliquary. And it was mana. So we're 200 mana away from being able to unlock the next tech. The Advanced Resource Collection. And maybe it's time to consider pop growth again. Question, should I incorporate larger homes? Should I make the larger homes or should I keep it to the simple ones? I'm rather indifferent. I don't really care either way, so I'll let you guys decide. So one bottleneck that we're having so far is the amount of wood that we're acquiring. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just like throw together another 2 woodcutters cutting down like the old dead trees that are out here. I could always irrigate more for forestry too. There's really nothing stopping me from doing that because we have absolutely tons of extra water that I could irrigate with. I just didn't feel the need to do it. The other thing we could do is to build crop accelerators to cover the trees, as I mentioned before. And that should help out a lot. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. Is remove like this tree here. And to plop down a growth accelerator here that will cover the vast majority of the trees that we want to cut to grow, and that will cut down their growing times a lot. I forget, do these things require power? They don't. So, perfect. And you guys do want me to incorporate the bigger homes? Got it. So, let's put a double home here with a flower box here. So I think the bottleneck now is power. And I was holding out for advanced power and protection. And the advanced power and protection, the vent power generator allows you to generate power from the mist vent. The aquatic ink powered generator is what I want to use. It generates power in ink ravines. And I'm going to start working towards that. Then we have a battery, we have a big pylon, and then we have a gloom shield, which protects people from working in gloom. So about the mist generator, I'm going to place it up here. So what I'm planning on doing is using ink spouts to intentionally spray ink into these ravines, generating gloom, like wet gloom. And then placing down the soon-to-be-unlocked aquatic ink power generators, which I know from experience are 2x2. So what I'm going to be doing is landscaping this area to that end. So we have like a 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And each of these ink spouts can fill like a 3x3. So 2 of them would be like 18 slots or something. So let's go ahead and bomb these areas. And then add one more slot for ink to be dumped there. Or actually, do it like that. This will make sense once it's built. And you can see it in effect. That should help with our power. So you can see the ink spouts are going to be placed in these 3 spots, dumping ink in here so that we can generate power. I could try to generate power here. The problem, and that wouldn't necessarily be unwise, the problem is this is constantly being reclaimed, so I don't want there to be disruptions. Alright, choice. Forgotten crystal. You find an odd crystal. Forgotten methods were once used to extract the trace amounts of mana within. This process destroyed the crystal, making them rare in our times. So this is a big pylon. It's like a massive pylon to use to power, or we can break it down for crystals for supplies. And it looks like you guys want to keep it. So far, it seems like keeping it is always the choice, which is fine. This is a big grid. And I'll put it here. No, I'll put it here. So I can move the town center back to where people actually live. Keeping everything up here powered on easily. I like it. Oh, it is not covering that pump though. Okay. It is now. Perfect solution for that purifier pump that, like, wouldn't be able to be powered on easily otherwise. The Song of the Cats. Still don't have that double home. My god. Higher priority. It's just that there's so much else going on that the builders are just busy. We did get the crop accelerator though, and that's going to help out with the trees a lot. All right, all the ravine excavation is done. Now we're just waiting on the fill. And I'm going to make that a higher priority now. High priority tool. So in the high priority tools, you can see green is like high. Neutral would be no symbol, like no color adjust, and then low is red. Ooh, an enchanted vent pump. I'm almost tempted to plop one down there. We also have a potential for a crystal quarry here as well. You know, if we mined out that thing. Still haven't even bothered to hook up the larger liquid storage. haven't made it a priority. So we almost have all the landfill here. And then we'll start making the ink spouts. And then once we get the 1500 mana that we have yet to collect, we'll be able to generate power not using regular wood. Which is going to be a lot easier for us to, I think, scale up. Just seeing if I'm missing anything built. Wonder if we can actually get a vent pump here before it, like, just keeps getting recovered, but if we deliver the materials for it, it will. Well, oh, there it goes! There's the double home. And this has inhabitants of 14, so we're about to get a big pop boom, but that's fine, because we have a lot of extra food. And we might build a second enchanting hauling station and maybe another cleric, depending on if the gloom storms are causing us problems. And the relics that we're finding, and if you're wondering, like, the mist, as it reclaims land and then recedes, can reveal more relics. So, like, a single tile can have, like, an infinite amount of relics as it goes back and forth in that tug-of-war. And I'm sure you noticed that down here, because we found relics over and over and over and over again as we pushed the fog back for this area. Oh, and the gloom's coming. Noted. One thing we don't have a lot of, as we manipulated the land here, is the gloom fuel. Used a whole lot of it up and haven't really harvested back. Now we do have some gloom trees that have yet to been cut down, so I'm sure like our lumberjacks will eventually get there. So I'm not fretting about it. Oh god, the yeah, okay, hold on. Pausing the game. We just got super-de-duper-de overrun by mist where I wasn't looking. So I'm just moving some workforce around to push that back. Really is a tug of war. Truly. There's not a lot of settlement builders that, like... There's a lot of settlement builders that allow you to expand your terrain, but not a lot of them that will take the terrain back. Which makes this sort of unique in that, like, if you're not careful, you can very quickly find yourself on lost ground, needing to catch back up, which is different. So I think it's probably likely that we're going to need another cleric, so I'm going to just queue up another one to be built. Because we just have a lot more revealed acreage to cover to prevent gloom spores, because the more successful they are, the worse these gloom storms are, because there's just a lot more landmass for the spores to come up. So like there's 3 of them here alone. So that's like too much for the few clerics that we've got, I think. So now we have 4 clerics rather than 2 in order to keep the spores at bay. Thank Thank you for tuning in to Mistpaw Ravine, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I'll have to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow magical cats.